Hey, what is up, everybody? Back with another review. Um, Again, I apologize. Ah, pretty tired. Early in the morning again. Um, Probably look a little extra tired this morning because um, I took um, something to sort of help me sleep last night at work, but I'm still groggy. I don't know. Been having trouble sleeping lately. Um, I don't know. I trust you guys. I haven't said anything about it really, but I'm having these weird dreams. Uh, I don't know. It's really weird, recurring nightmare, I guess. Like in this basement or something. Like I don't know, but it's like not like a house basement. It's like a basement to a I don't know. It's all kinds of piping and machinery and real steamy down there. I don't know. But I'm like trying to find my way out, and there's this squeaking noise, like nails on a chalkboard, and there's this guy sort of like stalking me. It's so weird. Um, he wears a hat, and he's got like his face looks so weird. It looks like hamburger meat or something. He's like all burnt up, and he wears this thing on his hand, like knives on his fingers. I don't know. Anyway, sorry, don't mean to be weird on you guys. But anyway, I'm just gonna move on to the review. This is a Roger Corman double feature from Shout Factory, The Evil and Twice Dead. Um, these are pretty cool, just for the simple fact of, I don't know if you guys remember BCI, you probably do. They don't put anything out anymore. Code Red got a lot of their stuff once they went under, but they originally came out with a series called The Grindhouse Experience, in which they would have a double feature, and you could play them, by themselves, or you could play the Grindhouse Experience, which was you'd get, the nice our feature presentation. Yeah, I'm gonna sing it. And then 2 trailers, the movie, intermission, 2 trailers, movie. And then BCI went under, and Code Red got a lot of it. But they had to change since the Weinsteins, or Miramax, pretty much trademarked the word or the term grindhouse. They changed, yes, they trademarked that word. I don't know if you guys know that or not. Actually, remember last time at Cinema Wasteland, I was buying some stuff from 42nd Street Pete, and he has a radio show called The Grindhouse, Saturday nights on Jackalope Radio, and he told me that they had actually contacted him and told him he could not use that word because they had trademarked it, they owned it, and he basically said he told them to go themselves. And it's still called The Grindhouse, so. But they had to change it when Code Red got a hold of it, and it was called Exploitation Cinema. But they did the same thing. Well, the same thing is on with this. You can either watch the movie singly, you can watch one or the other, or you can play the Roger Corman experience, which is 2 trailers, movie, intermission, 2 trailers, movie, which is pretty cool. But let me get this up here. Um, the evil is sort of about this couple that buys a old historical house up in the hills, and there's a lot of people that don't really want them there. There's stories about the house, and but of course, they don't really pay any attention. They buy the house. They're going to make it into a drug rehabilitation center, and they have a bunch of volunteers to help them. Richard Crenna plays the main psychologist. Richard Crenna been in a ton of stuff, but he's probably best known for the Rambo movies. And then what's her name? Joanna Pettit is his wife. She was in Casino Royale. And also Andrew Prine is in this from Barn of the Naked Dead and Centerfold Girls. And, they're all volunteers to help sort of get this place in shape. Richard Crenna's wife starts seeing some weird things, and she doesn't really say anything for a long time. Things are going down, strange, haunted house type stuff, Well, until he goes downstairs in the basement to fix a fuse, and he finds basically a door in the floor. And he's trying to get it open, and as that's happening, something happens upstairs. He has to run upstairs real quick. The door just sort of opens up, and looks like just a bunch of smoke and mist pops out. And you hear that nice roar, and the house shakes. And pretty much after that, the evil is let loose, and that's when stuff gets a little bit more intense. The movie as a whole is sort of tame and slow. It's really not that bad. It's certainly not something that I would probably watch again. But if you get a chance to get this cheap, The Evil is something that you can. It actually worked for the day that I watched it. It was very rainy that day, and it sort of had that rainy day feel, that sort of just slow kind of, not a slow burn, because there wasn't really I'm not going to say there's not a payoff at the end, but it's just sort of, it does get hokey at the end. Sort of switches gears a bit during the very end scene and gets a little cheesy and hokey, but overall, The Evil is not a bad movie. It's probably not something I would ever watch again. But for a rainy day, it's not a bad thing to waste an hour and a half on. So, now Twice Dead. Now this one actually surprised me. Basically, you have a family moving to, I don't know that they ever say it's LA. No, it just says crime-infested urban neighborhood. But it's obviously California. But you have a family moving into this downtown neighborhood, into a really nice old house that they inherited through their uncle. Jill Whitlow plays the daughter, who we all know was in Night of the Creeps. And Todd Bridges is actually in this from Different Strokes. He plays a friend that they sort of meet. And her brother is Tom Bresnan from Ski School. So they get to this house, and there is this gang of punks sort of sitting on their doorstep when they get there, and they have to run them off. And when I mean punks, I mean punk rockers, and sort of the movie version of punk rockers in the 80s, which is a mixed bag of all kinds of different looks. But I love how in the 80s the bad kids, the bad kids, the bad gangs were all punk rock gangs. I just find that great. We don't have that anymore. Class of 1984, Return of the Living Dead, all those, they were all punk rockers. I love how the bad ones were always the punk rockers. I don't know. Maybe somebody should do a throwback 80s teen gang movie where they're all punk rockers. And you don't really know why they have this sort of interest in this house. You don't really know why they have this interest. But they get run off, and of course, they see him at school, and there's a lot of problems with this gang between the brother and the sister. In the first couple nights at the house, some strange things start happening. Weird, unexplained. So you get the sense when you first start watching it, okay, it's another ghost story, sort of, like The Evil, with a little bit more of a teen flair to it. And about midway through, not midway through, even a little less than that, it really starts focusing more on this conflict between the brother and sister and the gang. They sort of go back and forth with, not pranks, but, getting each other. And it really sort of focuses on that for a while until the end. So this is really sort of like one of those teen gang films mixed with a ghost story. It's really interesting and very strange, but it works. Somehow it works. They did a good job on it. At the end it really switches back to full ghost story mode. And the last 20 minutes really made the movie. That's when all the deaths happen. That's when most of the creepy stuff happens. There is a cool scene in the middle where the brother and sister sort of, not lure them in the house, but because the gang is sort of waiting they want to go in and, get these kids, get the brother and sister. And the brother is I guess, I don't know, in high school in the 80s, but he's studying special effects. That's what he's into. So they sort of plan this elaborate hoax on them by, hoax of killing the gang members through special effects. And I think they knock them out with chloroform or something. It's pretty elaborate and pretty funny. But most of the action is in about the last half hour, 20 minutes, I'd say. And it really does make the movie. I was really surprised by Twice Dead. I thought it was actually really good. And on that one, you get an interview with Jill Whitlow, which is always fun. She seems like such a sweet woman. Plus, she's really, really good looking. So overall, I would say this is a pretty solid double feature. Twice Dead, much better than The Evil. But The Evil's not terrible. Like I said, rainy day movie. Sort of one of those days when you're just feeling lazy and not really wanting to think a whole lot with your films that day. On The Evil, you get a commentary with director Gus Draconis and writer Donald Thompson, and director see, can't talk, I'm so tired. Director of photography Mario DeLeo. On Twice Dead, you get a commentary with co-writer and director Burt Dragon and actor Tom Breshnan. And then you get that interview with Jill Whitlow and some trailers. So yeah, not bad at all. The Evil, Twice Dead, double feature. Also has this cool, when you open it, you get this little thing here. But also, the way that the inside looks is pretty awesome. But get some sort of tie poster for the evil. But pretty cool. So anyway, yeah, not a bad DVD. So about later this week, I'm going to be starting my countdown to Wasteland / Henenlotter month. Going to be reviewing one of his films each week, and then I have something sort of special for the countdown to Wasteland. It's going to come mid-month sometime, because this one's going to take a little bit more time in editing and stuff like that. So I'm going to have to start working on it pretty soon, and then it'll come sometime mid-month. Review-wise, right now what I have in store is the Uh-Oh Show, which should come also this week. So it's going to be a very busy month here, and hope you come back, and we will see you next time.